Good to go. Sandwich done. Blueberries eaten. I'm ready.
Oh man, what happened to the blackberries then?
Those were blackberries. Forgive me.
Just check.
Listen, man. Eating good.
You may have had a fruit cup,
Listen.
a cornucopia.
Christian, did you have your ramen or PB&J sandwich?
No, I'm gonna wait until 11 o'clock at night to do that.
With your family. With
the fam.
Oh man, 6 p.m. You not having dinner yet? Crazy.
No, I gotta do this podcast that I'm doing, and then I gotta do other work.
Humble. That was just a humble suggestion. That's all, man. No shade.
It sounds like a Frosted Flakes kind of night tonight.
They're great, man.
I think the definition of greatness is to inspire the people next to you. It's not something that lives and dies with one person. It's how can you inspire a person to then in turn inspire another person that then inspires another person. And that's how you create something that I think lasts forever. And I think that's our challenge as people, is to figure out how our story can impact others and motivate them in a way to create their own greatness.
Welcome to the Welcome to the 303 podcast. Yes, I'm here with my fellow host, Evan, Lou, and I'm Hans. Thank you for joining us. We have a great show in store for you guys, man. Listen, you'll get the clips into YouTube to see why we were laughing, y'all. You'll see it. Today, we have a great show lined up for you. We're going to finish off our last two predictions that we unfortunately ran out of time on. It's going to be great. We're going to pick our champs and our bold predictions. Also, listen, there's some teams, players, or maybe coaches that the 24 shot clock is about to run out on. So we're going to tell you who it is and where they're at, baby. So they need to shoot their shot. But guys, without further ado, ball up. Let's get balling on this court right now. Ev, I'm going to put the possession on you first, man. Let's start off with your NBA champions pick, man. Who do you think is going to take home the gold in this 23-24 season?
Well, I'm glad you asked for my expert opinion. I thought about them. They were not first on my list, but I could have made the argument, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm going with the Phoenix Suns. I like what they did in the off season, and this is my pick, my belief in Devin Booker. I mean, he's squarely in his prime. Jesus. He's in that. How far can I take this mode of his prime? When we watch a player and they're putting together those highlight packages, they're checking the boxes right before our eyes. I think that's what Devin Booker is doing for us now. He's got the talent, and he's got talent around him now. When he had talent around him with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton, he got to the NBA Finals. Kevin Durant's the best player that he's ever played with. They bring in Bradley Beal, who's going to be elated as a third option. They get shots so easily. Kevin Durant, I'm not going to say he's not an alpha, but he does better when he has a lead person with him and he can just score and dominate his matchups. He did it with Steph. He did it early on when Russ was really the alpha of that team. And that's what I think he was going for when he brought Kyrie Irving with him to Brooklyn.
Are you calling Kevin Durant soft, man?
I'm not calling Kevin Durant soft. I'm calling Durant an assassin who doesn't need all that other stuff on his back. He needs to be able to focus on ball and shooting. And that's what he's going to give you this year.
Sounds like
now you got questions, how well can their supporting cast gel? I think early on, I'm not listening to you, man. All right, KD is the best number 2 option in the league. I think their supporting cast. Hey, I said
really?
Run the list. Who's a better number 2?
Well, according to Christian, LeBron. LeBron's not a better number 2 because AD is supposed to be number 1 in the Lakers. So LeBron's not a better number 2? No?
LeBron's on a minute restriction. All right. He won't be out that long.
He's
allegedly.
He's on a wait and see minute restriction.
A wait and see minute restrictions. Got it.
It depends on the game. You saw last game where
Clearly he played like 40.
Yeah, he played like 36 or something like that, because they needed him. They needed him to stay in there. But so it's a wait and see kind of thing.
Okay. It's a LeBron.
So I put it to you this way. I think as great as LeBron is, and LeBron's amazing. Second best player of all time, arguably. He's at 11 p.m. of his career. It just is what it is. Kevin Durant, he's still somewhere about 9, maybe 9:30. Yeah, 9:30. So I think KD still has that enough to ratchet it up to, all right, we need some 40-point games in the playoffs. All right, I can give you that. LeBron, I don't know. And if LeBron's the second and AD's your number one option, all right, I said no Laker hate until December. I'm not going down that path right now.
So you're saying LeBron is 1.5?
I'm saying AD's not a 1, but I'm talking Phoenix right now. I'm talking Phoenix. I think KD, Booker, and Bill C, y'all trying to get me kicked out of here by the power number already. I said I was gonna be nice until December. KD,
so you
Booker,
think Bradley Beal puts that over the edge?
I do.
You know what's very interesting here?
What's that?
You said a lot about Devin Booker and so on, him checking these boxes and what he's been able to do himself. You never said anything about him bringing his team there. Is it safe to say that you believe he's the one, the catalyst to lead his team to the next level? Was he the one that did that prior to? Now there's no Chris Paul. Who's going to galvanize, or was it always Booker? Who's the one that's leading this team to the promised land?
Here's where we go back and forth and we disagree, Lou.
Oh,
you think that the only reason that 2020
I'm not
happened,
bringing floor general. I'm just
no,
asking
you are though. You are. You think
I'm
the
not
only
bringing up
reason
the floor
2020 happened is because Chris Paul was on the Suns.
We said floor general and leader of the team, right? You said they're two different things. I didn't bring anything. I'm not bringing up floor general. I'm asking about as the leader of the team, right? Was he the one that propelled his team to that next level when Chris Paul?
I think that's a fair assessment. Basically, at the end of the day, there is no understating the value that Chris Paul brought to that team, right? And getting them to the finals and promised land. So is the addition of Gordon, Beal, and so forth enough to make up for those Chris Paul leadership intangibles to get them right back to the promise?
Because none of these guys that have been added have played that role.
I understand.
Which of those guys have played that role? Bill.
You're talking 2020 Devin Booker. As I talk about boxes that he's checking and things that he's stepping into, I think taking on that leadership role is a part of it. This is Devin Booker's team, no question. This isn't KD's team. This isn't Bradley Beal's team. This is Devin Booker's team. And so I feel wholeheartedly he's the one that's going to drive the accountability. He's driving it by his work ethic. He's the one that's going to set the tone, and he's the one that's going to get them over the hump. If my pick comes to fruition, he's the one that's going to get them over the hump.
I think it's a box that he'll possibly check this offseason if he has to. I don't
and
think that box is checked yet.
My pick is the belief in him doing so
and checking the box.
So I mean they're one and the same. For them to do that, for them to accomplish your pick, 1,000%, he has to be the one to check that box. And
or he could just give it to KD and just get out the way too. So we'll see what
happens. KD doesn't want it. We've seen it already.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see.
KD doesn't have to do the leadership box. KD just has to get his big toe off of the 3-point line when it's time to hit the big shot. That's it.
So, man, that man wears like a size 15, man. Yeah, man, alone.
So does half the league.
Take one step back, one step further back. I also think an important part of it is they're going to be a popular team come buyout time for adding additional depth to the depth that they already have. I think they may need another big man, but I like the fact that instead of how can we get more size to battle with Jokic, nobody can battle with Jokic. So let's get as much shot creation as possible.
How dare you put down former Blazer Yusuf Nurkic like that? That's a stand-up center that you guys have right there, who's been giving you buckets and been going wild on the defensive end. How dare you sully? How dare you sully the name of the great Jusuf Nurkic?
So hold on, you being sarcastic. Hold on one second. You being sarcastic. I just wanted to translate that. No, you don't got it. I'm picking up what he's putting down.
How dare you sully that?
I'm translating it for the people, because I want the people to
listen. Hans, if you can't pick up Hans' true feelings about Jusuf Nurkic, but I will tell you this. I have a little pettiness in me. You've seen it on the court before, Hans. Of
course.
It's come out from time to time.
No, it comes out all the time. Cats think you quiet. They can whispering in your ear in the post. Oh, this is what you're doing, huh? This guy. Go ahead.
If I'm Jusuf Nurkic, the matchup that I want to redeem myself, the chip that's on my shoulder more than anything else in the league, they chose him over me if I'm Jusuf Nurkic.
Rightfully so.
Maybe in our mind, but in his mind, they chose him. They chose him over me, okay? They chose Jokic over me and sent me to Portland. Give me the shot. Give me the shot at the big joker.
It's not going to happen.
Hey.
Here's why it's not going to happen.
Hey.
He had his chance to do it in Portland as the number 2. He got schooled, mollywopped, and whatever other words you want to use. He had the chance, and I honestly think he's benefiting and flourishing right now just because he no longer has to be a number 2. He's number 4 or 5 at best. The dude is playing cleanup. He is in a position where all he can do is exceed expectations.
Like, sneak attack.
Because
sneak attack on Jokic.
Yeah, man. Like, no.
You going to triple?
Jokic has been sunning him real bad. I'm not going to use some colorful language, but ain't no way.
He coming with better help this time. Not Dame.
He ain't gonna do it. Jokic is gonna. Man, did you see what Jokic did on opening day? Listen, there's no way. Yeah. What he should do though is let Ayton know what's up. That, if anything, would be his better avenue of. Listen, let me show you.
Say you guys upgraded.
Yeah.
So Hans, man, what you thinking, man, for the NBA chip, man?
Listen, man, I'm going with the Joker, dog. I think they're bound to do it back to back. At the end of the day, their core is pretty much the same. Now, granted, I do know that they did lose Brown and one other person. Who else did they lose? Brown and Green. They lost Green. Brown and Green and Jeff Green, not Danny.
Uncle Jeff.
Yeah, he's been in the league for a while. But I do think that they're bound to repeat. Look what we saw on the opening week. Like, dudes getting a triple-double. They're making it look easy. I will say this. Who I am actually liking is Aaron. I like Aaron. He is embracing his role and understanding that, look, every other play I have a mismatch, and I'm going to use my size and aggressiveness to dominate the boards and to keep the flow of the game going. And I believe that I believe that they're really maximizing the use of Aaron Gordon. At the end of the day, I think he's going to go down similar to the likes of what Bosh had to do when he came with the Heatles, what Kevin Love had to do as well, as far as going from being somebody who was number 1 or number 2 and having to change their game and really just retooling it. He's in that vein for me. And let's be real, y'all. I don't see anybody right now who's going to slow this train in Denver. Listen, I'm on the high. See what I did there? I'm on the high. I think they're going to repeat. I think Phoenix is a contender for them in the West. I really do, just because at the end of the day, you can't deny the scoring capabilities of that 3-headed monster over there. I do think that the Bucks will get to the finals, but I think the Bucks are 1 season away. I don't think they have the chemistry there. I mean, they just got blown out by the Hawks. So I know it's early and everything like that, but I do think that there's still a couple unknowns with the Bucks. It has to be Denver, man. That Joker dude, man, he's doing it. Nobody's gonna stop him. And Jamal is saying, hey, I'm still here and I'm doing it too. He's coming back more aggressive. He's finding his voice and making me look like, hey, Hans, what are you thinking about the Joker effect? I'm that guy. So he's showing me. He's showing me. He's like, I
you
see what you were
Jamal
talking
wasn't
about.
a top 10 guard, didn't you?
He's not.
Okay.
I stand by it.
All right.
Before this season, like that's what we did our prediction. He's not. Yeah. This season, if he keeps up how he is, he'll be 8.
He'll crack the top 10. He'll crack,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? He'll be 8. You know what I'm saying? But who is a guard? You know, who knows? Who knows these things, man?
Yeah, you know, man. Who knows? He might play center at this point. Yeah, I think you bring up a great point about Aaron Gordon. For me, Aaron Gordon realized what Blake Griffin wasn't able to do, right? In translating his game. Very, similar in terms of very athletic. Was there, a guy they brought in to lead his team. Made the noise, tried to expand his game past just being a big man in the post. I mean, granted, it's a little different. I mean, Gordon can play center, also at the 4 position, like Blake Griffin did, but really being able to embrace it. And I think also, obviously being healthy plays a role in that as well. But now for me, it's just like Aaron Gordon is where I wanted to see Blake Griffin's career go, especially on the back half of it.
So quick question, whose career would you rather have? Blake's or Aaron's?
Well, here's the thing, man. Blake.
I'm just saying, whose career would you rather have?
I will take Blake's just because Blake will have longevity outside of basketball, right? All the endorsements he was able to lock in very early on in his career. In totality, I'm going, who has more money? Blake got more bread. Blake got more bread. Okay, he got that Kia money. Think about it. When they first started the whole Kia swag with them being a sponsor in the league, and then him getting, commercial after commercial. I haven't seen Aaron Gordon in a commercial yet. Not knocking it.
So what's funny about you bringing up Kia, I was going to pick Blake Griffin because my answer was going to be Blake Griffin jumped over Kia in the dunk contest. He's got to be the answer. But then I thought about the performance that Aaron Gordon put on at the dunk contest.
Thank you,
when he got robbed by Zach LaVine.
Okay, first of all,
when D Wade messed it up.
That dunk contest should still be going on right now.
First of all, agreed, but I just in this for the sake of the argument of because I didn't go in the dunk contest. We've had co-winners before. The fact that they didn't give us that was highway robbery because there is a solid argument for either one of them winning that championship.
Or D-Wade was paid off.
By who? Why you bet? For LaVine?
He was ready to go home.
Yeah, maybe.
They had a party that night.
I had a poor taste joke, and I'm going to leave that because we're not going to go viral for that.
All right, Lou. Last on your prediction, man. NBA champs, man. Who's taking it home?
Oh man, NBA champs. Look, I'm gonna buy into the hype. I'm gonna buy into the hype with the Bucks. I think there's a couple things that are happening this season that were able to accelerate what we would normally see taking 2 seasons in terms of gelling, and that being the in-season tournament. You know what I mean? So I think that is going to have teams calibrate and think about how they're going to set themselves up for playoffs, right? So I think it's kind of like a mock draft. You have mock draft before the draft. This is going to be their mock playoffs before the playoffs. And they're going to be some testing grounds on what are we going to look like. Come this back half of the year. So I'm buying into the hype. Bucks to win it all. It's their, for me, it's their championship to lose. But I do agree. I do think they will see Denver in the finals. And one thing that I also agree with, and Evan said it prior to, is they're going to do the same in trying to see what other pieces they can pick up and then during the season to help bolster their team and fill in some gaps. Because I do think, their depth isn't as strong as it used to be, but they're definitely going to pick up some pieces, plug in whatever holes they need to. And I think the pressure's on for them. So they know, hey, we're in it to win it this year. So let's go.
Okay. Got you. Solid.
Evan is he's not pleased.
No,
he doesn't think the Bucks are gonna do it.
3 good. I don't think the Bucks are gonna get out the West. Out the East. I think Boston's gonna get out the East barely. And Denver, Jokic, undeniable. The run he's on right now is one of those runs where you see the greats elevate above the rest. Not gonna lie to you. With that said, I think Phoenix come the end of the year is going to have more firepower than Denver. Close series. If it comes down to those two, I just see Phoenix eking it out. Coin flip, though, to be honest with you. I like Phoenix, though.
All right. Those are our predictions for NBA Finals. Moving on to our bold hot takes, y'all. This is where we go viral. This is where we wild out. Our bold predictions. Lou, my man, what is your bold prediction? What is your prediction that we're not going to see coming this NBA season, bro?
You know what? Here's the interesting thing, right? Because it's one of those things that you should see coming. And that's, me and Zion not finishing the season. Okay. Everybody's excited. He's back. He decided to have 3 meals a day instead of another number that is probably higher than 3 or 7. Wow. But you know what I mean? And the drama off season, we'll see. We'll see. I love every offseason when they say, yeah, it looks better than ever. Have a couple first games, and then it looks great. Make their predictions on where the projection of the player and team are going, just for us to not even get to the Christmas break and be in the same position that we were in before. So mine is Zion will finish the season. Please pack it up. RJ Barrett has a higher no playing. I catch myself before. I'm not going down that road.
Let me hear your RJ love. Can you finish your thought? Finish your thought.
Of course you would love that. Of course you would love that. But point being is, I'm not a believer yet with Zion. So let's see where it goes.
So you don't think he's a master discipline in his diet, his conditioning, although he had the whole fiasco with the adult film star lady slandering his name. I don't know if it's slandering, but putting out his dirty laundry on Twitter.
Actually, both his mother's child and the one that, Adam Silver had to call in Elon for.
Listen, he was using non-conventional training methods. They didn't work out quite as well.
How else are you going to get your cardio, right?
He's shifting to a more traditional,
working on his grip, his ball grip. You know what I mean?
Pause. Well, listen, man. Some guys use infinity pools. He uses other venues. Listen, man. He's getting his cardio.
Splash.
He's getting his cardio in and out, baby. I'm not mad at him.
I'll tell you what's funny about that pick, though, Lou.
What's up, brother?
Hans can attest to this. Quick story. It's not even a long story. This was in July, maybe August, even after the whole porn star stuff came out and whatnot. I was in a Home Depot parking lot. I don't know why that detail matters, but Home Depot parking lot. I call Hans. Hans, do you remember what I told you in that parking lot? It's all right.
Word for word.
Zion Williamson, top 5 in the MVP race this year.
Oh, yeah, I was at work.
That's not even my bold prediction. You were at work. I told you, listen, I know you're at work, but I got to give you this take real quick. That's not even my bold prediction for today. That's my counter to Lou's prediction, though. Zion, sometimes the light has to click. Sometimes the light just has to click. The talent is there. We're seeing it in the early going. He's an easy 23, 25, and 8. He's unguardable by forwards, unguardable by centers, unguardable by guards. It just has to click at some point.
No. There's no clicking. He just has to stay on the floor.
That's what I'm saying.
He has to stay That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm telling you. It's not going to happen. And Hans asked me, do I not believe in the discipline and so on and so forth? I believe in it the same amount that I believe in a Ben Simmons 3-point shot. So with that, I'm going to pass the rock on that one.
I just like the idea of Evan just like having to call Hans while he's at work. Like Hans could probably be having like some like disturbing client or customer or whatever. And Evan's like, no, man, this can't wait. Zion is winning MVP this year.
It happens more than you know. What I love about our relationship is Ev will literally hit me up. And what's funny about him is he'll respectfully and disrespectfully apologize. Like he'll be like, look, I know y'all were, but listen, this Jay-Z song, like, and it just
all while a lady's yelling from in the background.
Yeah,
like, I don't got time for this, man. Hey, no, this don't matter. I need to tell you something.
But this is the thing. This is the thing about Hans. This is why we're cool. Respectfully as well. If he's busy, he won't pick up. And I know, okay, he's at work, actually doing the work thing, right?
Oh, so
but if he picks up
when he's not.
Well, no, but if he picks up, he's letting me know, all right, listen, I know you calling with, I know you calling with some foolishness, but I got enough multitask bandwidth to take this in. And so, that's why it works well, man.
That's when you should text him, it's an emergency, and then he has to call you, and then you just tell him some foolishness anyways.
But see, that throws off the balance. That throws off the balance. And you don't want to abuse the friendship, He's got to get it organically.
That's when these hot takes be coming in.
Oh, get it organically? Evan, calm down, bro. Relax, dude. This is the second straight week.
This one here, man.
Oh man. All right, balls in your court, brother. Give us your bold prediction. You gave us half of one.
He gave me a counter.
MVP.
Yeah, this is what he
countered Lou.
This is what Evan does. I'm gonna just help y'all know, right? Evan doesn't know how to follow instructions, right? He's on at that. He'd be like, all right, guys, I need a top 10 and send us 14. And it's not even like it's like, what's 14, bro? At least give us 15 or like, and then they'd be like, yeah, guys, come on, tighten up. Insane. So instead of, because he's like, I want to give 2 bold predictions, kind of really. So I'm not really going to give you 2. I'm just going to counter yours as a counter, not really a prediction, but it's really my prediction, and actually formally give you mine. So let's hear it, dear brother. What is your formal bold prediction?
Excellent debating, sir. But thank you for picking up. Thank you for picking up on that. My actual bold, finesse. Hey, you know. My actual prediction. I mean, listen, that's how we do it in a boogie down. All right, we make our own rules. My actual prediction is more of a slow burn than a bang, but my actual prediction is that the in-season tournament will be a resounding success. A lot of talk coming in, people acting like they don't like it. It's unnecessary. It's corny. I'm not buying any of that. So, quick recap for those that don't know. There's an inaugural in-season tournament this year. Actually starts next Friday, November 3rd. They broke the league up into six pools of 5 teams each. The 15 teams in the West are broken up into 5 pools, into 3 pools. The 15 teams in the East broken up into 3 pools. They'll play 4 group games. The teams with the best record from each pool plus 2 wildcard teams will play a quarterfinal, so to speak. The semifinals and then the championship will be in Vegas December 5th and 7th. First time the league's doing it. I think is excellent. It's right at the beginning of the season, which is perfect timing. You're coming off of that opening week buzz and excitement, rolls right into the tournament nights. I like that there are specific tournament nights. It's going to be Tuesdays and Friday versus the games scattered all throughout the schedule. Now, as a European soccer fan or football, as the rest of the world calls it, I like that the tournament is woven into the season versus like actually stopping the season to have this full big scale tournament. I like that the semifinals in Vegas. I like that the NBA is adopting Vegas as its home for its big events. They take over Vegas in the summer for Summer League. I like that they're taking over Vegas in December for 3 days for this tournament. Imagine if the Bulls and the Blazers were in the semifinals and Lou, you hit up Hans like, yo, we should go to Vegas for this because our teams are in this tournament finals. I think that's pretty dope. I'm excited for the storylines that can come. When that
happens, we'll actually have the money for it.
Hey, I feel like we should go to Vegas, period.
That's the thing. You don't know, though, right? Is at the beginning of the season, as teams are gelling, I I think that's what makes it great. Just all the storylines that could come from a successful tournament appearance. So imagine if the Bulls, I mean, this first week, haven't looked the best, but imagine if the Bulls, sneak through the tournament and win an in-season trophy, right? That could turn your season around. Imagine if the Bucks go ahead and win the first in-season tournament. Now you're looking at them like, wow, okay, they're really here. I like that. In European soccer, they have this thing called the treble, where if you win your domestic league, your domestic cup tournament, and then the Champions League tournament, it's like you've won like all of the awards in
it's like
in
a
Europe.
Triple Crown.
Yeah, it's like a triple crown, right? Yeah, it's above just when one. It's like the highest level. So I like now that there's like an NBA type version of the Triple Crown. You win the best record in the regular season, you win the NBA Cup, and you win the NBA championship. Like that's just another level of competition to gun for. And I think it's gonna build that competitive spirit in the league throughout the players, especially in that early part of the season. So I'm all the way excited for it. I'll be locked in Fridays and Tuesdays. I think the presentation from ESPN, TNT, and the like, and whoever gets this contract in the next couple of years of the broadcasting NBA, I think is going to be amazing. And listen, so many other reasons. I think that the in-season tournament is going to be a resounding success. Hopefully, I've convinced y'all to get excited about it.
So right off the gate, you think it's going to be an instant success, unlike the play-in tournament, which took like a season and a half to kind of get steam, and now people are really liking the play-in for the playoffs and everything like that. So you're thinking instant success this season. It's gonna show its merits.
Absolutely. And I think the play-in tournament even had more initial success than people expected. I think this one's going to be even blown out more, again, because it's 2 nights a week where the spotlight is solely on it. Like you got the whole league on Friday night just about, and these are all group stage games. Like these are games that have actual meaning to it. A great basketball night. Anyway,
I think more, to me, what's more significant is this last part, the scheduling of it. Two things: the scheduling of it, it gives a spotlight, it forces you to pay attention to it, and it encourages buy-in. Also, these games, although they are a part of this in-season tournament, they matter towards your record as well too, right? So it's not like something that you can kind of just blow off and do. You're still competing. You still have to go out there and compete, and all eyes are on you anyway. You're getting national attention that you would otherwise maybe not get. So I actually do think it's going to be interesting, and I think it's going to encourage a more competitive edge that we've honestly seen has been lacking for the past couple of years. It really has. The only concern is who's buying in. I hope that the top tier teams buy in and really go at each other, because I think that will encourage everybody else and it'll set the tone. So if I see our, kind of people who represent the league take it seriously, your LeBrons, your Giannis, your Joe, those who are really representing the league, if they take it seriously, if they buy in, I think that will further encourage everybody and the teams to take it seriously too. So I am actually looking forward to it. But I think the way that the league has the scheduling set up is also an encouragement as well too. And if you notice, they changed the All-Star back to East versus West as well too. So I think they're anticipating that this in-season tournament as well too is going to breed competitiveness.
There's 3 things that you guys touched on that I want to address, and then because I won't hijack it. First, Hans, you talked about the play-in versus this. I actually think, Evan, I think that this will actually be more accepted than the plan. I actually don't think the plan is. I think they've realized it's a reality of the game, but I don't think that the buy into it is still there, because there's still this feeling of you couldn't get it done in the regular season. Why do we have to give you another shot, right? And then in terms of the in-season tournament, what I did wish that they did was I did wish that it ended as the All-Star game. right? I really wish that the tournament ended with the All-Star. I mean, yeah, the tournament ended for the champion, whoever the championship would be the All-Star game.
So that's the All-Star game versus
East. That's what I was hoping. You know, it would be the East versus West, because I think the voting aspect of the All-Star weekend is cool, but and then the picking of the teams is cool, but I would like to see kind of a more of an objective way to watch the All-Star game, because if it's going to be, especially for the first one, the inaugural tournament, and you're winning this cup or whatever it's going to be, for it to be during that weekend where it's a break from the NBA season anyway. It's a natural break, and I would want to kind of seen the tournament spread out a little bit longer. So, and then the third thing is, it's interesting that they're keeping this as part of their regular season record, and I wonder if that's just to drive the competitive nature, like you're mentioning, so they don't blow it off. Because traditionally in European soccer, that wouldn't be the case. Yeah, so I'm just curious if they, that's probably just using them to drive a competitive nature for this tournament. So like you said, nobody does blow it off.
I think it's a drive right in the middle, because they were never going to get the buy-in for more games, but the owners and the league is never going to cut the regular season down to less games. So it was kind of that happy medium of we could accomplish both and appease both sides with it.
Get rid of the preseason already. No more back-to-backs.
They cut the preseason down to 5.
Yeah, they did.
Cut it down to 0.
I mean, I get it. You got summer league. Do you really need the preseason?
Then the first week would look terrible, and then
I like the preseason because it, like, for his credit, it cleans up the first week.
The first week was awful, Hans. Everyone looked awful the first week.
Not everyone.
Because they cut the preseason down to 5 games.
Not everyone.
No, teams don't even play their players in the preseason. They sit out players.
More played this year. More played
this year. I've seen a lot play. Even LeBron played.
LeBron played like
that
2
doesn't
games
happen
for like,
and that's shocking for LeBron. LeBron doesn't play.
LeBron know he's not getting no more chips, so I know he's definitely buying into this in-season tournament. But LeBron is definitely gonna, I think at this point he realized as he's on his 11th hour, that he's gonna try to soak up as much as he can while he can. So I'm not even surprised that LeBron did. It's more so if I see, I don't expect guys like Giannis to really play in preseason and so forth. So I don't know.
I brought that up and my fault. I let this die, but I don't know if I called you, Hans. I can't remember who I said this to, but my argument for the Lakers taking the in-season tournament seriously was, we know LeBron's never gonna eclipse Jordan in the championships argument, right? Nobody's ever gonna give LeBron that credit there. What he can do by setting himself up for the next LeBron that comes, 20, 30 years from now and whatnot, is not only does LeBron have 4, maybe 5 NBA championships, but he also has the inaugural NBA Cup as well, right? So it adds allure to that. It adds to his stature, and now that's just another step that the next one that comes has to climb to meet LeBron's status. So I think that's a unique wrinkle to it as well, that I would think that LeBron will push for a backdoor way to get one up on Jordan, so to speak.
Like these bogus Magic Johnson, Larry Bird MVPs that they give away at the conference finals now. When
did we get this Laker-centric producer from?
I'm just speaking on as far as like trophies that they're giving out in order to boost people's resumes now.
You don't like participation culture, man?
There's to an extent where I think it just goes overboard.
I honestly think it's an homage.
I got this trophy in the mail last week for first podcast completed.
Like that.
You're not serious. You serious?
Thank you. Hey man, who knows?
No, man, I think it's an homage to our living legends. I do think some of the trophies and names may not fall with some. I think it's a two-prong effort to get more incentive for competitive, because like the league has known they've had a competition problem for a while, so they try to throw more awards at it, right? And it's not working. They changed up the All-Star game, but I think it's the competitive nature they're trying to increase too, but also giving homage to the living legends as well too. At the end of the day, sometimes we wait too late. Somebody has to unfortunately pass away to get something named after them or a trophy. But to me, how great is it for Magic Johnson, for Larry Bird to still be living and see this? You know what I'm saying? To see their legacy impact the league fully and not just their markets. I think that's dope. So rather than take the place of a legend that has a trophy already, why not give them something else so their legacy lives throughout the league? So I honestly like it, Christian. I really do. But let's move on. My take, honestly, it's not too bold, but I said the Clippers will finish top 5 in the Western Conference Final, if not top 3. Top five. I really think this is their time. They have to show us what they got, which leads to our next segment, guys, and I'm going to kick it off. Who's on the clock, y'all? The 24-second shot clock is winding down, and now we're going to share with you our takes on teams, players, or coaches who need to throw up a shot or they're getting the 24-second violation, and mine is the Clippers. And you can take the Clippers as a squad right now, or you can take the three-headed beast of the Clippers because they're all got that 24-second clock on them. And that's Kawhi, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook. Here's what I'll say with Russell. He shot it, he got the rebound, he missed, so it's 13 seconds on him, right? Whereas Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are at about 5 seconds, and they need to figure it out. And the Clippers have 5 seconds as well, too. At the end of the day, how much longer are we going to wait for this team to be healthy? How much longer are we going to wait for them to dominate and have the LA versus LA, the clash of the LAs that we've been waiting to see? How much longer? I'm tired, just like people are tired with the whole Zion. When is he going to play a full season? When is he going to do this? When is he going to do that? Not to steal anybody's take, but I'm sick of it. As a Paul George and Kawhi Leonard fan, I think the 24-second clock is on them and the Clippers. Is Paul George going to go down as a potential maybe kind of player, a potential Hall of Famer who we thought could have been great, but because of injuries, is the same thing going to go for Kawhi? Is he going to go down as a player who would have been a legend, but barring injuries, did not reach his full potential? At the end of the day, like my boy says on this podcast, potential is just a French word for ain't-ish, right? So at the end of this season, we will see whether the Clippers as a squad have made a shot and the 24-second clock has reset and they get it going, or we get a 24-second violation and listen, we got to blow it up. Somebody has to go, or a couple players have to go. They just can't keep doing this. To me, as a one who has been tortured by a team, the Blazers, you got to free them Clippers fans, man. Free them Clippers fans. Give them a shot. So Kawhi, Paul George, Westbrook, come on, man. Get it together. Make it happen.
Lock them up.
Trade them all.
Wow. You said the shot clock expired already, man?
Would the Knicks accept any of these players?
Oh, the Knicks will take Paul George or Kawhi.
Paul George or Kawhi, yeah.
Yeah, they'll take Paul George or Kawhi with a heartbeat.
Oh, I'm sure.
Barrett,
Julius. They'd be like, "Yo, Julius, back to LA."
I'm gonna need both of you to stop
okay?
naming players. Stop naming players that we would send out. Okay, it sounds disrespectful when y'all do it. Okay, let me.
My bad. Only you can talk bad about your team.
Only yes. Thank you. But yeah, Paul George, Kawhi. There were some Paul George rumors over the summer that the Knicks were looking into it. I won't turn this into a Knicks section of the podcast, but we get a lot of rumors, not a lot of action.
That's what happens when you're a major market in the NBA, right, Christian?
It It's a little different.
They're like the Miami Heat. They're linked to a bunch of players, but then nothing happens.
Wow. Call this team Aaron Rodriguez. Yo, that's crazy.
The thing that popped in my head to say it, I'm not going to say it because, no Laker hate from me until December.
Why December?
Y'all remember that Dwight Howard phase with the Lakers? All right, let's keep going. What were we talking about?
Oh, tough. Anyway, the clock's on the Clippers. They got to show up or show out. I am a believer that they will show up this year. And I hope they make things happen. I really do. But if they don't, similar to what my esteemed host has said about Zion, you got to ship them out, man. Change it up. Ev, you bridged on it, man. Who's a 24-second clock running out on for?
So I have this team on the clock, and I have them for a couple different reasons, immediate and midterm, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, if you know me, I've been a huge Grizzlies fan. I've been watching them since they drafted Ja Morant. Ja Morant was my favorite player in the draft coming out that year. As a Knicks fan, the fact that we fell to third in that draft, one of the hardest days of this century for me as a sports fan.
I remember them texts.
Yes, it was. I still haven't completely recovered from it. But this isn't about the Knicks right now. This isn't about that draft right now. This is about the start to this season. They're without Ja Morant for 25 games. Coming into the season, it's been easy to think, they always play well without Ja. I think they were 10-7 last year. They were 20-5, something like that the year before. They've played well without Ja in the past, but this is a different team. No Tyus Jones. Steven Adams out for the year. Brandon Clark probably out for the year. Trying to integrate Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose and still haven't found a reliable small forward in 4 years. This team isn't the same team from the previous years. As of now, they've started off 0-3. This isn't an easy West. They could fall pretty quickly and dig them a hole that's insurmountable in these 25 games without Ja Morant. Shifting to Ja Morant, he's got a lot of, the maturing to do, a lot of recovering to do on and off the court. His career is at a crossroads right now. I'm of the mindset that he'll get it together. He'll be fine when he gets back, but it's a tenuous stage for him. So he's got to get right. You don't want to lose a season when you've been ascending in previous years. But what I'm seeing is Jaren Jackson still isn't getting rebounds. Jaren Jackson still doesn't know how to stay out of foul trouble. As I've said, they still don't have a reliable small forward. It's a lot of pressure on Desmond Bane to be the guy. He's a guy, a great guy. He's not the guy. So what you don't want to be at the end of this year is you've tied yourself to 3 players, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, Ja Morant. Worst case scenario, one of them's unreliable on the court. One of them's real unreliable off the court that keeps him from staying on the court. And now you're a small market team that has regressed and has to make major decisions as a franchise. So I came into this season and they were my backup pick to win the West, actually, or at least have the best record in the West, because I felt that strongly about their ability to withstand the time without Ja and then to really hit the ground running once he's come back. But from what I've seen, I know it's early. It's the first week of the season. But from what I've seen from them thus far, what I saw from Jaren Jackson Jr. in the FIBA championships, the second half of the games, it leads me to question, how are they going to be this year? And if they do regress this year, what are they going to do as a result of this year based on the reasons for those regressions? So that's why I have the Grizzlies on the clock. It might not be 4 seconds left on the shot clock. But it's inside of 10 seconds, and they haven't got it to a shot creator that can create his own shot yet. So I'm a little nervous about where they're at right now.
I think they're in such dire straits because the West is a lot more competitive. I don't know if they're going to be a playoff team. I think they'll be a play-in team.
And that's my point exactly.
That's where they're at right now, and it's going to be tough because at the end of the day, we can't deny OKC's here. I think they're going to be a solid playoff team, not a play-in team. We already know Sacramento's here. We already know that, you're going to have to deal with Jokic, Denver, the top teams. Mm-hmm. You got the Lakers. So it's not going to be a cakewalk for them as it's been the past 2 years. Like you said, they're coming off ascending. I don't know, honestly, Evan, if they can recover fast enough from how fast of a descent that they've had, barring the front office maybe does some trading. You get what I'm saying? Harden? I don't know.
Stop, man. Stop that.
Stop. No. Okay. Maybe some trading happens because you're essentially right. Marcus Smart is not going to be your second guy. You get what I'm saying? Like, how far are you going to go with Marcus Smart as your second option? And Triple J has not shown to be that guy yet. Listen, I think the clock has expired on them, man. I hate to say it. I think the clock has expired, but I hear you holding out hope, though, man.
I'm not gonna go as far as expired. I think
it's expired. When it expired?
Josh gotta come back, hit the ground running. Listen,
when he threw up the clock, it expired, bro.
Josh got to come out shooting game 26.
That's not his strong suit. That's not his strong suit. He's shooting, dog. Listen. All right, man. I guess. I feel like it's done. I'm just looking at the West, man. I'm looking at the West, and I'm not seeing it. Lou, who's on the clock, bro?
For me, it's the... Especially seeing what's going on. You brought up somebody for trade talk, Philadelphia 76ers. I think they're on the shot clock for real. Now you're looking at your situation. The Harden is up to his shenanigans again. You seeing that the Celtics have found a way to make themselves even more formidable. You have to deal with the retooling of the Milwaukee Bucks. You've been in this process for how long now? When do you then call what the result of this experiment? What is the conclusion? Right? Is the process finished? Is it time for a new process? Is this experiment done? The guys that you had faith in with Ben Simmons didn't pan out. You brought in Jimmy Butler, who probably was your best choice, who you probably should have kept. Let him go. You thought bringing in Harden would help you guys get to the next level. Now look where you're at with him. And now you're in a position now where you're seeing that the guy who you rest his team on his shoulders as your number one option and to be the leader of the team doesn't seem to be interested in that as well, and seeing chiefly his reactions at the end of the playoffs last year. What do you guys do next? So I think that, they're in a position now. They have to figure it out, and they have to figure out quickly, especially depending on, where they want to go. They have a lot of young talent. They have some opportunity. What do you do? Do you give it one more go and or do you blow it up? Get all the value you can. We'll see, and who knows what Embiid is saying on the back end. If he wants to, really be there or not.
Let me throw this to Ev real quick as somebody who's followed the Sixers for a bit. He's an avid Joel fan, trusting the process. Has their stock ever been as high as when they had Joel rounding into form, Ben playing at his level, and the whole Markelle hype? You remember that? Do you remember that? It seemed like so long ago. And that's when the league was excited. People were looking out for them. You get what I mean? Like, have people ever been that high on the Sixers as they were right then and there? Because when I think about when they got Jimmy Butler and I think about when they got Harden, I still don't remember their stock or the hype being as high as it was back then. Now, granted, the league has changed. There's different powers that be. But yeah, man, where are you at with the stock on the Sixers right now, Ev?
Sorry to chime in on that, yo. Those were 3 number 1 picks.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point of that type.
That's what I'm saying. That's when they were at their that's when their stock was high.
That's what I'm saying. Is
like reining them in.
3 number 1s. So I automatically you're gonna 3 number 1s that are fairly back to back, in trade. I mean in draft, in draft years. But
no, you're absolutely right. Between that time and the Jimmy Butler phase, those were the 2 high points. One, because Markelle coming out of Washington looked like exactly what the team needed to round into form. We didn't know yet that Ben Simmons wasn't going to shoot ever. He looked like a he looked like a perfect fill in all the blanks type player. Markelle coming in to be the lead guard, and Embiid just ascending year by year. The only thing that compared to that was when we had Jimmy Butler. I'm saying because yes, I've been an Embiid fan since day one, so I'm a de facto Sixers bandwagon rider. But the Jimmy Butler phase, when it looked like, okay, we got a clear number 2 next to Embiid, somebody who's not afraid to take shots in the fourth quarter. This was at the beginning of the Jimmy Buckets phase, before he got to Miami and really fully ascended into what he's become. So those 2 time frames right there, I'd say it was 1A, 1B. But I just had my head down while Lou was naming out all the transgressions of the 76ers over the past 5 to 6 years, because he's absolutely right. It's been painful and egregious to see what Joel Embiid has had to go through from a roster standpoint, just from a drama standpoint. And yeah, the concern is that he's going to get to the point where it's like, look, this is enough. Get me out of here. And the process will be over. It's going to be crazy seeing him anywhere other than Philly, unless he comes to the Knicks, which we'll welcome him with open arms. But outside of that,
you will pick him up yourself.
Absolutely. Listen, I have an SUV. We can push the seats back. We can fit a 7-footer into our vehicle. So
he'll put the kids in there too. They want to meet the process.
Listen, Why New York, if you need me, holla at me. I'm here for
He'll Uber you. All right, y'all. Appreciate that.
Uber Black.
Nice. Appreciate that, guys. Great show. Thank you guys for listening to us. We appreciate it. If you want to see some additional talk, some additional footage, we call it overtime, head over to our YouTube channel to check some additional footage, some things that didn't make the final cut. As always, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.
What's up, guys? And thanks for listening. I want you to do 2 things for me right now. 1, give this episode a thumbs up. And 2, be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also follow us on all the socials at the 3on3 Podcast, and send us an email at the 3on3podcast@gmail.com. We appreciate you, and tune in next week.